everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a special guest with me, and today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. I think it'll be very beneficial to those of you watching. So today we're going to be talking about undergraduate versus master's studies as an international student, what you can expect and things that we've experienced. You can learn a thing or two from experiences and decide for yourself, which one you want to do, undergraduate or masters. But before we go ahead, I would like to introduce Esther. Esther, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, actually.
Hello everyone, my name is Esther, aka SSCL Inspired. It's so good to be here.
Okay, so I'm going to put a link to Esther's channel in the description box as well, and also in the comment section. So make sure to check out her channel. She has great content on there, very helpful information, especially if you're an international student. You're going to find her channel really useful.
Don't forget to subscribe. We forgot to invite them to subscribe to the channel. Guys, subscribe, watch these videos to the very end, and invite the family members to come and join as well. Yeah. So let's go into the discussion. Just like Rivella has said, today we just thought to share our experiences. Rivella did a bachelor's degree. I studied at the graduate level here in the United States, and we actually went to the same school. So I think it kind of, it probably makes sense that we'll be able to compare our experiences. And one of the reasons I opened to this is so that you guys can decide for yourself, like, okay, do you want to come here for your bachelor's degree, or you rather wait, complete your bachelor's at your own country, then come here for your graduate studies. But whichever it is, we're just going to be sharing our own experience as we had it. So there's no good or bad, and there is no perfect story. So it's basically just what we experienced, and we hope that with that you can learn a thing or two. So let's just get into it. So I think one of the first things we want to talk about is in terms of I think job opportunities. Yeah, job opportunities number one for graduate students. I can speak for the graduate student because for me, that was my own experience. I think for graduate students, when it comes to graduate opportunities on campus, like job opportunities on campus, I think there are more opportunities for graduate students to get jobs on campus compared to undergrad. Rivella, you can come in at that point, because I feel like a graduate student, you can do graduate assistant jobs, and you can still also do student hourly jobs that undergraduate students do. Yeah. Like as a graduate student, you can work in the dining, you can work it depends on you. It's just that sometimes you feel like, oh, this job is below me or something. But sometimes when you don't have a choice, that's the only one you can find. Yeah. You can work at the dining. Nobody will say because you're a graduate student, you don't get the job at the dining. You will just probably have to deal with the lower pay that comes with it. Yeah.
Undergrad, we're only allowed to do hourly jobs, and we don't have graduate assistant or anything like that for undergrads. So it's only hourly jobs, like you said, dining or research assistant or bookstore, library, laundromat, and things like that on campus. So there are plenty of jobs on campus, but of course it's competitive because all the students also want to get those jobs. For undergrad on campus, those are the opportunities available to you.
And the pay is usually even lesser than what a graduate assistant would earn.
Yeah, so when I was in school, I was earning about, I think, $10 an hour, $10 to $12 an hour, and that came out to about like $800 or $900 per month. So
I'm not sure any graduate student earns that.
Yeah, how much do graduate students earn per month?
I think the lowest I've ever seen was like 12. I think it was $15 that I ever came across. But I'm not so sure exactly. But so let me just be on the safe side. It's probably like $12 to like $20 per hour is what I know that graduate students earn. So yeah, that was what we used to earn there. I think mine then was around $20 an hour or something.
Wow, you guys were really balling. $20 an hour on campus. That's awesome, because if I found even $15 an hour when I was on campus, I would have been
a rich kids that used to do undergraduate studies in the United States. The rich kids, and I think that brings us to the next point about schools in the United States. Like, rich people that used to come for bachelor's degree in the United States, rich kids.
Because that, because the amount of money
is a rich kid like this, that they're seeing that she's a rich kid. That's why I think I have one bachelor's degree in the United States, because it's not fun, I think the first time I ever heard about you guys put it, I'm like,
So sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to give context. For context, undergrads pay about between if you're going on the cheap end, from like $28,000 per year to even on the high side of like $50,000 per year. So it depends on the school you
Very
go
good.
to. Our school was more on the cheap to medium scale, I guess, price range. So I remember the first semester my school fees was about $14,000 for one semester. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
for master's degree actually, because we offer lesser credit hours per semester, so our school fees tend to be lower. Like for graduate level, in my school, which is the same school that we went to, graduate students were required to do a minimum of 9 credit hours per semester, and at $3,000 per credit hours, that was like $9,000 for
hmm
your tuition fee. So by the time you add other fees, probably your fees will maybe like 10,000 or 11,000 maximum. Compared to graduate student that would need to do minimum of like, oh, sorry, compared to an undergraduate student that would need to do like minimum of, is it
12
12 hours?
hours. Yeah.
12 hours credit, 12 credit hours per semester. And even with that, it also tells you about the workload for graduate students. Like
Yeah.
graduate student workload, yeah, the workload for graduate students is intense because you have to do a lot of research. The level of work you do is more advanced, it's more specific. Or like undergraduate, I think undergraduate is kind of general. But I
Uh,
think like you guys do more courses
we
than.
do more courses, and on top of that, we do exams almost every few weeks. So we have like 4 exams in a semester, and then on top of that, you have homework every week. So it's the workload's a lot. Like you do that plus working in school, to sustain yourself. It's usually very hectic for undergraduate students.
Yeah, I think for graduate students as well, we don't do exams like every other week. We have the regular in between like midterm exams that we do and final exams, but we usually have like what's that thing? Assignments. We have take home assignments, research, project assignments every week for almost all the courses. So I think also that the work load is hectic as well. It's really hectic.
Yeah, so I guess it's commensurate to your level then.
Yeah, it is. It is. So another thing is also in terms of like tuition waiver. I noticed that I'm not sure how it happens for you guys, but I know that for us as graduate students, if you get a job on campus as a graduate student, not just any on-campus job.
Yeah.
We talked about how graduate assistant as a graduate student you can work in designing, you can work every other place. But if you are not a graduate assistant, then you will not qualify for tuition waiver. So if you
Yeah.
are working as a graduate student, sorry, as a graduate assistant or graduate or a teaching assistant or a research assistant on a graduate level, like you are qualified for tuition waiver, which is as much as 50% of your tuition waived every semester. So how does it happen for undergraduate students?
Yes, so for undergraduate students, tuition waivers only apply depending on your school, one, and two, depending on if you get a scholarship. So for the state of Texas, you are supposed to get like $1,000 scholarship to qualify for that tuition waiver. But then it's also dependent on your school, because your school might say, we don't want to do that, and they will make your life hard. But for our school, they required you to get $1,000 scholarship, and once you get that scholarship, you qualify for the tuition waiver.
Was
But
it
no,
free?
50%, 50%.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and then it depends also by your college, because for College of Engineering, you have to put your name on the tuition waiver list, and they do it sequentially. So as people graduate, and get off the list, the other people on the bottom of the list will be coming up, and then like that. So they have number of people that they give it to per semester and things like that. So depending on how your school wants to organize it, structure it, and award it, that's how it's usually done. So us, you have to get scholarship, or your school may require you to do research or something to qualify for the waiver. So it depends on your school, but for our school, you just have to get $1,000 scholarship, and then you go from there.
Well, that's quite some audio to cross. Like, so you have to get 1,000. So how do you get a $1,000 scholarship?
So for me, I got $1,000 scholarship from our school's scholarship application. You know the application they send out every semester in the fall. Yeah. So I complete the application, apply to all the scholarships I can apply to, and then when they award me the scholarship, and then I have to go to Miss Murray to put my name on the
And
tuition
then
waiver list. But the good thing is, once you put your name once and you get it, it's till you graduate. You
oh,
get
nice.
it.
That's cool.
Yeah, you keep getting it till you graduate, automatic. Like you don't have to do
You
anything.
don't have to get $1,000 again every semester before you qualify.
No, you still have to, but every year you still have to. But if I noticed that once you get it once, it's usually like clockwork. You just because the way our school does it is you do that general application, and they look through and award it to students. So I think maybe I'm not sure, I may be wrong, but I think what happens is because you're already on the list once and you already gotten it once, I think they just keep awarding it to you, so you keep
Oh,
getting
okay.
that waiver. So throughout the time you're in school, once you get it once, you keep getting it throughout till you graduate.
I
Yeah.
think also for undergraduate, like, I don't know if I am getting things wrong, but I kind of feel like scholarship opportunities out there for undergraduate education in the United States, they are not as much as you would find for graduate education. Because
Mm,
most of the times when undergraduates and get scholarships, they're usually internal scholarships, like after they've
mm,
been admitted into the school. And
yeah.
probably if you're on a 4.0 GPA, they now begin to qualify for different things that give them scholarship. But
Mhm.
like getting it before you come in, I don't know. I tried to do some research, and from what I'm saying, the number of scholarships out there for graduate students are quite more than what you will find for bachelor's degree. So bachelor's degree, most times you would need to at least have your money for the first year before you say you want to come and do bachelor's studies in the United States. Have money, have your
Yeah,
money.
have your money. Yeah, and usually they don't even give you visa if you cannot prove that you have money for the first year at least. They want to see that you have money for the first year at least, and then
You don't have to pay that money, right, until you come into school, just for graduate students, right?
no, you're supposed to pay before the first day of class, but they usually have grace period, I think.
Yeah, before the first day of class, but not like some countries will need you to pay the part of your tuition before they even give you your visa document.
Oh, no, 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 no! You don't have to pay tuition before they give you visa. They'll give you visa first, and then you come in, and then you can pay tuition when you come in.
That's just what I wanted to clarify because I
Oh,
think in terms of scholarship, so it's recommended that if you don't have good money, don't even consider bachelor's education in the United States.
yeah.
You
Or
will eventually get scholarship,
yeah.
you eventually get to work. For the first year at least, have your money because you might not get. But for graduate students, I think a lot of graduate students get full scholarship even before they leave their own country. Like in the United States, you get scholarship, they'll give you tuition waiver, 100%, especially
I
for
think,
PhD. Like I think
yeah.
some people don't even charge for PhD at all, like almost free for PhD students.
I think yeah, it's free for PhD students. They don't pay tuition fees. But I think why it's like that is because a lot of Americans don't do higher studies,
Yeah, you don't
so
do advanced.
they're trying to encourage people to go
Correct,
into
yeah.
higher studies. So they try to make funding available, for research or projects or
Right.
something.
And that's why PhD is almost like free because PhD is
Yeah.
research work. You're also contributing to knowledge, the body of knowledge in
Mhm.
the United States. So it's almost like they're compensating you for doing that. So
Yeah.
that's why it's mostly free. So most people that even have master's degree in Nigeria can consider coming for PhD. And
Yeah.
people have even gone from bachelor's to PhD directly. So
Yeah.
if you know you don't have money at all to pay, PhD is a good option for you. Just go for PhD.
Yeah, and the good thing about PhD is that when you finish, it's not hard to get a job because there are not a lot of PhD people or
Out there.
yeah out there. So companies usually like it when you have PhD because you're more knowledgeable and you add a lot of value to the company.
And I also think as a PhD student, you can file your own green card for yourself. There is this national interest waiver category of green card, NIAW. You can
Yeah,
even qualify for that. Though I believe that graduate students can also do so. Like graduate, even bachelors, a lot of people have been able to present supporting documents to help them. See, I've heard about bachelor's degree getting.
bachelor's. I'm
I'm
not sure.
serious. So it depends on how you present your profile. You need to be able to gather some documents that are relevant, to prove your value to get that green. So the green card, that is one thing that students should also be looking at. One of the things I'd like to encourage people to think about, and which I think we should also use the opportunity to discuss, will be like,
Mhm.
when coming into the United States, don't just come to study any type of course.
Yes.
Consider your after graduation opportunity, just like Prevela has mentioned with PhD. probably easier to get a job after graduation because there are not so many people that have PhD degrees compared to people that have bachelors, compared to people that have masters. And another thing also is that for some courses, there are not so many people in that field. So it
Yeah.
makes the field a great opportunity for you to easily get a job. Whereas there are some courses that, especially as an international student, we don't even encourage you to do it at all. Because anyway, probably we'll have that conversation another day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about in terms of requirements. Like one of the things I think also is about like for graduate students now, you need to submit. Most schools require to submit minimum of 3 letters of recommendation. So do undergrad students need to submit something like that?
No, no, you don't have to submit a letter of recommendation. You just submit your high school grades and information. If you did SAT, you submit your SAT scores. I didn't do SAT or TOEFL or any of those things. So you just
what are the requirements you submitted?
me, because I went to community college first. My community college only required my WAEC and my grades, my transcript from high school, and I don't even think I gave them WAEC. I think I gave them NICO self. What else do they require? And then proof of funding, complete the application on their website, and there's some other documents they require, but they didn't require recommendation letter or any tedious this thing. You just regular application and submit your scores.
You like all those statements of purpose. Wow, nice.
No, you don't do any of that. You just submit your
So we
scores.
can say that the requirements for undergraduate studies are lesser compared to like graduate studies.
I don't know about lesser because they'll ask you for a bunch of documents, but they never ask for letter of recommendation or statement of purpose.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, also another thing is in terms of student professor relationship. I don't know if I'm getting things wrong, so maybe you can share your experience. But I think like for students and professor when it comes to graduate level, it's more like a peer kind of relationship, peer to peer. Like I don't know, lecturers come in, they don't teach you like they're teaching you, they teach you like they're lecturing you, they're like okay, just guiding you. Most times they're asking your opinion. Okay, so what are your thoughts around this? They come in, give you projects, they give you assignments. When it comes to class, they are discussing. No lecturer is telling you A plus B is C. Like I don't know, probably because I had my bachelor's degree in the in Nigeria. So that was, in Nigeria it was quite different, the experience we had for bachelor's. But what I observed in the United States as a graduate was that lecturers treat you like their colleagues, like they're trying to understand what are your thoughts. Like, okay, so what is your thought? What are your thoughts about this? Okay, so this and this. It's almost like sometimes when you are discussing in class, there's no right or wrong answer. You just want to share your thoughts and all of that. So I don't know if it's like that for undergraduate as well.
Undergrad, I mean, they're teaching you because it's your first time with that topic or subject. They usually like go in depth, teach you, share videos, helpful material that you can, watch more or read more on. There are projects too. They give us projects for every class. There are projects. Yeah, the teachers, the relationship with the professors are really, I think, in my opinion, is more informal. They can even become your friends because they have office hours, and sometimes they are your advisors for like your senior design or something like that. So you see your professors often and about, and you have office hours that you can go to learn more about maybe an assignment or a project or something, and they will help you like break it down better and help you figure it out. So the relationship with I'm still cool with some of my professors. I still have their numbers and I talk to them from time to time. Yeah, I think the relationship is a cool one.
Another thing that used to happen was I noticed that undergraduates then used to have their lectures in the morning, whereas we graduates only used to have classes in the evening. Adult education.
Yeah, undergraduate classes start like 8 a.m. So if you're not there, you're missing classes. Attendance is a big thing. So if you're not in class and
Attendance is compulsory also for graduate students do it.
oh, okay.
It's just our classes used to be in the evening. Our classes usually start from like 6 p.m. So normally because we're graduate at this time, we work during the day, and in the evening is when we attend classes. We do classes from like 6 to 8 to 9 p.m. most days. So just like that. Yeah. But overall, I would say I think based on all the things that we have shared so far.
Yeah, I would say if you, in my opinion, I would say do your bachelor's in your home country, and then come to the US, for masters. But if you're going to if you're going to a country in Europe or something, you can go do undergrad because it's in Europe. It's free. Well, in some countries, or it's relatively cheap to free. You can do undergrad. That way, you can learn more about the system and be more, I guess, ingrained into the system and assimilate better. But if you want to go to the US and you want to study, I would say do your bachelor's at home and then just come here for masters. You get more opportunities and you spend less money.
Yeah,
And
less money. Very true. That
yeah,
part is very important, very true. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Those are my thoughts exactly. And I usually advise people like if you've not done your bachelor's, probably just take your time to do it in your own country. Might feel like you want to leave now, you want to leave now. If you want to leave now, do you have the money to leave now? Do you have the money to leave now? Then cool. I think another thing is in terms of about internship, I forgot to mention is I don't know how it happens in some schools, but like CPT things, some schools don't even allow you to go for internship as undergrad. I don't know. Whereas in United States for graduate students, like for us, our internship was like it was a graded course on its own. So we had grades for it. It was like a requirement, one of our courses. It doesn't mean like you don't do it, like anybody will penalize you for it, but it was a graded course. So I don't know how it happens for undergraduates. Is it like it's part of your courses or it's not
yeah,
compulsory?
yeah. It's part of your courses, but it's not compulsory. And two, we're also allowed to use CPT for internship. The only thing is, again, it's determined by your school. If your school says they can't allow you go on with CPT, then that's it, because your USCIS requires your school signature,
Okay.
before you can use CPT. So if your school says no, then that's it.
Whereas
But
most schools would even allow the CPT for your internship as very good.
yeah,
I
but
think
some
for us, so CPT was allowed. But I think what some schools would do, what some people would do is they will use their OPT during their graduate studies,
for
for
their internship.
which is not recommended. Honestly, it's not recommended.
But so in our school, they were allowing CPT for a while, and then after I think we had a new dean or somebody. I don't even know what happened, but they stopped allowing students to use CPT, both undergrad and graduate students. They were now requiring us to use our OPT, but it's not like that for every school. There are some schools, even in Houston here, that their international students can go for their internships using CPT. So it all depends on your school. A lot of the things is dependent on your
Yeah,
school.
schools in the United States, all of them have different policies. And by the
Yeah,
way, if you don't know what CPT is, what's that again? Curriculum
curriculum,
practical training.
yeah,
Yeah, and OPT is optional practical training. Your optional practical training is like your post study work authorization. That's what allows you to work after graduation, and it is for 1 year. But for if you have done a STEM course, it is extendable for 2 years,
yeah,
or 2 more years. So in total of 3 years.
for 3 years.
But CPT is a very short one. That one is just something that gives an opportunity to go learn more on the field based on the
Mm-hmm.
course that you are studying. And I think is it for like 3 months or so.
Yeah, internships are usually 3 months.
3 months, yeah. So for some,
Yeah, and you can also, if your school allows, you can also use it for a co-op, which is usually like maybe 6 to 9 months, depending on the company. So those have been our experiences. And if you have any questions or concerns, about some of the things we've talked about, just leave your comments or your questions in the comment section down below, and we'll be sure to address it. Being an international student in the US is stressful, but it can be worth it if you do your research and make the right decision. It can be totally worth it. It can totally change your life and elevate your situation, in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching our video today, and don't forget to check out Esther's channel and make sure to subscribe to both our channels. Thank you very much.
very important. It's important.
Yeah, very important. So subscribe, and we have lots of more information coming your way. So stay tuned to our channels for more awesome content. And yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
Bye. Bye guys. Bye guys. Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe, like this video, share with your friends and family too.
Bye.